Taylor Frankie Paul has filed for a protective order against her ex-boyfriend and the father of her son by the name of Dakota Mortensen. This was filed on April 7th. So in some of my previous videos, we have gone over Dakota's allegations in the video that he had apparently sold or leaked to TMZ. I mean, we don't know that he did, but it's heavily speculated that Dakota is the one that got this video out there where Taylor Frankie Paul had thrown the bar stool at her daughter.
I mean, like, I don't even know if she'll remember it, but I'm like, dude, this stuff, I mean, she was on top of my truck at one point. Like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm like, honestly lost of words right now.
Well, hopefully a couple minutes to chillax gets everybody a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound like she's winding down yet, but hopefully we should get her to just be a little bit more chill over the next couple minutes.
Yeah.
But at least we got you breathing. We got everybody a little bit chill.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been honestly trying to escape this, like, that's it.
Right.
I've been just trying to get out of here. I mean, I even just called my friend because I was like, I literally can't leave. I'm like, somebody's gonna have to like come pick me up.
Yeah. Then again, I don't know when he goes to bed. It is 11:30 after all. Might have been in his PJs. It might take him a while to get here.
At least I got it.
Well, you did ask him to, so he might be here. We'll see.
When a guy pushes you in the garage, it's kind of concerning.
Absolutely.
But I do handle myself pretty well, so. Don't know who did that in there. Well, that sucks. Is this your norm?
Is what?
This, like, is this your normal, or do you kind of just like, yeah?
Every night?
Is that kind of fun, or?
No.
No.
I don't like domestic violence or
So I'm just
things like this.
Your dad is here. Is it okay if he comes takes the kids
Takes
for the
it?
night? Yeah.
Sure. Is that appropriate, or?
Yeah.
That's just what he was wanting.
If I could just talk to you out front for a second again.
Yeah.
Do you want me to stay with Dakota and Dad out here?
No. I just need to talk to her out there.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And we're gonna have a whole thing with him, but
Can I go talk to her really quick, or no?
what about?
Just leave her.
Yeah, we're
sober up.
No, because I want to tell her like how serious, like
Oh.
You can have that conversation with her after.
Yeah, there's phone calls and
Yeah,
she'll be
let her
able to
sober
bail
up.
out.
I understand, but I want to tell her.
Anyway, you guys can't like sit there and watch her every interaction, but if you guys can help her by saying like, if you do these
like
things and violate that
if
order,
she pushed somebody, just like she said, like I
well,
pushed him,
no, like
doesn't even mean-
the protective order that'll be
Yeah.
issued.
Yeah.
Like if she violates that, that's
Yeah.
even worse. And those two are the most important.
Yes.
And like she can't even ask you guys to talk to him for her. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That,
No.
like all
Yeah.
of that is off limits.
Yeah.
But let me talk to
But she'll be able to be bailed out.
So we've talked about all of that in previous videos, but today we have to talk about Taylor Frankie Paul's new filing and protective order against Dakota. This definitely changes things a lot with the allegations that she's making against him, and there also are alleged photos that have yet to come out. I don't know if they will, but we'll have to stay tuned with that situation. But we're going to go over all of those details in today's video. So it was on March 19th that Dakota Mortensen had filed this protective order against the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star, and a lot of people were speculating that this was purposefully done and everything was done in the manner and of the way of which it was to ruin her opportunity with The Bachelorette, which it inevitably did. The Bachelorette was canceled, and Secret Lives of Mormon Wives filming had completely halted. So Dakota's filing was coming shortly after another alleged domestic violence situation happened with Taylor Frankie Paul and himself in February of this year, which would have been around the 2-year anniversary of the 2023 incident. People still believed it to be very calculated that he filed for this right before her show was going to come out, which also Dakota is now receiving repercussions of that, as well as he is being cut from Vanderpump Villa. He was on an episode with Dad Talk, and they're completely removing him from all of the scenes. So let's go over this filing. So according to the April 7th court filings, they were obtained by People. It says that the reality TV personality is seeking a protective order against him, alleging that he has had a pattern of abusive conduct and coercive control in their relationship. So now they have officially both filed for protective orders against each other. He was granted temporary custody of their 2-year-old son, Ever. So she has not had custody of her child. I'm really curious to see what happens with this situation. If there's both, like we saw Taylor being abusive on video, but now there's photos of bruising on her. And with these allegations, I'm just really curious what's going to happen with the situation with their son. Her filing claims that Dakota's filing was an effort to sabotage her career.
If he was trying to provoke a response, the reactions that actually occurred, they're very troubling. I mean, the one from 2023, I'm not giving as much weight to because it's removed in time, but it's still indicative of volatile reactions. And the hard part for the court is when it happens in the presence. I mean, it's hard in any event, but especially when there's children present during the incident. That's the most difficult part of all. The May 2025 incident it occurred while the child was in the arms of the petitioner, and there just doesn't seem to have been any thought put into what the effect that this might have upon the child, and that weighs heavily with the court. And so for these reasons, I'm going to recommend, again, this is very limited duration, we'll have more information, but I'm going to recommend supervised parent time for the next 3 weeks and 2 days until we come back on the 30th, and we'll have more discussion about this. And I would allow that to be for up to 6 hours per week. We can break it up into 2 3-hour periods, 3 2-hour periods, whatever frequency works for her at the availability of a supervisor.
In this filing, she also detailed several alleged incidences during which he acted violent towards her. The filing also includes screenshots of text messages and photos of bruises, which she claims were the result of altercations with him. Now, during one of these incidences, which would have taken place on February 23rd, Taylor claimed in the request that Dakota assaulted her by slamming her head against the dashboard of his truck and striking her knee and elbow. And then he also drove her away from her home against her will, where her 3 children were left alone sleeping inside of the house. Like, he took her from the home with the kids still asleep in there.
So essentially, they've had, obviously, a tumultuous relationship, and there's been a very well documented history of Dakota trying to re-engage and re-enter and resume the relationship. And one such example took place on February 23rd of this year, early morning hours, soon after midnight.
Before the violent episode, right? Before the incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that incident, the truck tussle. So kids are sleeping inside, the 3 children that my client has, 2 with her ex-husband and 1 with Mr. Mortensen. They're sleeping inside her home in Draper. Mr. Mortensen comes over, and my client decides, fine.
Why did he come over?
Talk about the relationship.
Not to pick up the kids? It wasn't his turn?
No, middle of the night. It wasn't related to the
invited over,
children.
or did he just show up with unannounced?
I think it was by invitation. In other words, she acquiesced to his coming over.
Okay, all right.
Kids are sleeping. She doesn't want it to escalate and turn into an argument, so she says, fine, I'll talk, but let's do it in your truck. So they go in and they sit in the front seat of the truck, and things immediately start to escalate. He drives away with her in the truck against her objection, and then something happens. Okay, I say something because this is where there's a huge divergence in the stories. You've read the request for protective orders supplied by Mr. Mortensen. He says, Taylor went crazy and she threw a drink, and I don't know. She assaulted him, essentially at its core. Taylor alleges that he grabbed her head during the course of this argument and slammed it into the dashboard and In the ensuing chaos, also struck with his fist, her knee, and her elbow. In that binder in front of you, Your Honor, you'll see exhibits E and F. If I'm Dakota in this scenario, what would I do? I would get the heck away from that woman. If we believe his request for a protective order, why would he be in the same room as her? He would need to get as far away from her as he possibly could. So that's what Dakota would have done if he were victimized by Taylor. Get away from this person, right? Now, similarly, if you're Taylor, if you're in her shoes and you're assaulted in his truck, you would demand to be taken home. You'd lock the front door, throw away the key, and you'd say, "Get away from me." That is exactly what she did in the immediate aftermath of the attack. It was Taylor who demanded separation, who demanded that he leave, that he leave her alone, leave her property, go away. He does not do any of those things. I think, Your Honor, that our Exhibit G is very telling. Exhibit G is a text thread between these parties in the minutes after this supposed attack, the truck tussle. He finally relents, drops her off at her Draper home, but he sticks around. Why does he stick around? Well, we would argue he sticks around because he knew he hurt her and he's trying to manage the chaos that's going to ensue from that. What he does is he lingers on her front doorstep. Actually, my client would testify he's physically looking through the window trying to re-engage this conversation.
So is this all about credibility relating to parent time?
It is,
Okay.
because ultimately everything we're looking at here is a lot of what we're looking at today relates to his credibility.
I feel like we're getting into the merits of the underlying claim.
And I'm almost off this point. But if we look at Exhibit G, he's telling her, open the door, I'll watch the kids, let me help, open the door. And then he just comes right out and says what he's looking for. This supposed victim of domestic violence is looking for sex, plain and simple. He asks her, do you want to fuck? In the immediate aftermath of her supposedly attacking him.
This filing is also requesting that their son ever be covered under the protective order. So in these allegations, she's saying that Dakota was increasingly possessive as the premiere of The Bachelorette was coming to air, which, I mean, we saw him be strange on the last season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like, as you guys saw, he showed up the day before she was supposed to leave. And I don't know what took place in that house that night that inevitably ended up with Taylor being too sick to leave. There's been a lot of allegations coming from the public pertaining to drugs because Dakota had a previous addiction that I think he went to rehab for, and he supposedly doesn't have this addiction anymore. However, there has been some photographs that were released of him where his eyes would tell you a completely different story. Like, the dilation on them was out of this world. There's definitely been some allegations and concerns coming from people about what occurred that night before she was supposed to leave to fly to the Bachelorette that left her in a state where she was hiding behind a door and would not come out.
What'd she say? She says she just doesn't feel like, she just is not feeling well. She says she can't get on the plane and that you guys can go and she'll just have to meet me there. She said there's no way I can get out right now and go. I know that you have anxiety. I know that there's a lot going on. I know you should just sit. I know. You've been saying
last night. Oh my God. I thought I couldn't get more disappointed. Right when we're like, yes, she sees it. She sees her worth. It's like she's going to the Bachelorette. She's ready to start this new journey. We're so excited for her. She's back to Dakota again. And I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
Now, I am not claiming here on this channel that there was drugs involved, but I could definitely see on this show how he was trying to sabotage her on there. And I'm just curious what happened inside of there that made her not want to go, or was it just pertaining to having anxiety because they had hooked up and she, was all in her feelings about him? Either way, it was a very calculated thing in that moment to confuse her. Also, it showed that they were talking on FaceTime on her flight there, so they were still in full communication. Now we are also hearing that he got a tattoo of her initials on his lips hours after she posted Bachelorette promotion. He's definitely been getting in her head around that. So in some of these text messages that's in this filing, he's saying things like, I want you forever, I still love and want you, and begging her to give him a second chance. This occurred on the 16th and 17th of February, after her season had already finished filming. Considering his increasingly possessive and erratic behavior, and considering the fact that we were not in a relationship, this was extremely alarming, she wrote in the filing. My initials are now permanently tattooed on the body of a man who has been abusive toward and possessive of me. So there's an exclusive source that had told people that Dakota had gotten the tattoo on Valentine's Day, which was hours after she had posted a Valentine's Day themed promotional post for The Bachelorette. And this source is also claiming that he showed the tattoo to cast members of the show and on camera while filming the next day. The one thing I want to say in regards to that is that in what she had wrote, she said it was extremely alarming. And I'm like, you have been in this very toxic relationship with this guy for a really long time. So I don't know exactly what about the tattoo seemed alarming, because the behavior was bizarre from day one, but I guess everybody has their final point. But I also want to say that even though these allegations are very serious, this does not take from what she was on video doing. Like, that still happened. It doesn't take from that. But at the same time, it does add another element to it, and it definitely makes it a more serious situation for sure. Like, there's two very toxic people in this relationship that are both the parent of a 2-year-old, and neither one of them have been making good decisions. Like, there has to be at least one stable person in this relationship for the child, right? But right now we're seeing two people that have been making very poor decisions. So, of course, she's saying he released the video to TMZ to humiliate her. However, in another part of the filing, she appears less certain how the outlet obtained the video, writing that it was presumably Dakota. So she's claiming that it was him at one point, and then later assuming and responding to similar allegations that he was responsible for the video's release. Dakota said to People, I am unfortunately used to these baseless claims about me and our relationship, which I categorically deny. What I'm seeing a lot of people say when it comes to this situation is that in the courts and to the judge, it's not going to look good, because even though she has valid claims, the fact that she didn't file this right after Dakota filed his, and he had their child in custody, that it's going to look bad for her, because if your claims are that he's abusive, that would make him dangerous. And if you're claiming that, why did you wait so long while your 2-year-old son is in his care? And so that doesn't really look good on her, that she was allowing her son to stay there and not trying to take care of this legally. Like, why did it take so long to file this if you had all of this information? I understand you would need to take some time to get your text messages and screenshots in order, but it wouldn't need to take almost a month to do it. So it is concerning, because if he's a danger, as she's alleging, why did you not immediately go to try and fight to get your child back, like the second he was in his care? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just definitely a red flag. I don't think that her claims sound false at all, and I'm sure that this most likely happened. This is a relationship where there's two very toxic people in it, and we're just gonna have to see how this entire thing unfolds. But I don't think that with her decisions that she's made, that the children have been put first at the end of the day, because yes, it's hard to get out of abusive relationships, but they were not married, they did not live together, they were already broken up. Also, the amount of times that he was trying to move on with someone else and she would lose her mind at him, or like call him and have him come back over to hook up and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, but if he's abusive and dangerous, then why do you keep bringing him back around your children? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like a cut and dry situation, because at the end of the day, she still looks really, really bad because of her decisions in this, and also all the videos of her being abusive. People are saying that this is just a last minute filing that she did to try and give her an upper hand in the custody/protective order with Dakota. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
But I'm going to recommend supervised parent time for the next 3 weeks and 2 days till we come back on the 30th. I do share some of the, I have concerns going both ways, quite frankly. I do have some concerns on the one hand that perhaps there has been some, as I indicated, maybe pushing of buttons to get a reaction. It's certainly been, no one disputes, a volatile relationship. As I looked at some of the evidence that was submitted, it seemed like a lot of this was going on when he was coming to her place of residence. That could have an impact. But also, regardless, the reactions that, even if he was trying to provoke a response, the reactions that actually occurred, they're very troubling. I'm going to recommend, again, this is very limited duration, we'll have more information, but I'm going to recommend supervised parent time for the next 3 weeks and 2 days till we come back on the 30th. And we'll have more discussion about this.
She wasn't letting him go, and it's like, you have children, so if he's dangerous, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm not claiming that all these things didn't happen. They probably did happen, but at the same time, it doesn't excuse her behavior that we've seen either. And I know that everyone's like, it's reactive abuse, but it's like, but there are children, okay? And when you're a mom, I know some of these people that are making these statements aren't parents, so I just don't understand. But when you are a mom and you're a good mom, you put your child first. You're not gonna keep throwing things and losing your mind like she was whenever her daughter got hurt in that video. And also, I understand that sometimes people get stuck in bills or housing, or, you know, in a marriage to someone who is an abuser, and it definitely complicates things to get out of it. But she wasn't tied to him in any way, shape, or form. And when he would try and leave, she would pull him right back over. And also sending her son over there unsupervised to be with him with all of this going on. Like, it's definitely interesting that she's chosen to file it now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Stop! Hey, what's going on?
Oh my gosh.
Nothing.
She's hammered.
And so is he.
I'm sober.
But don't say I'm
How about
sober.
how about we separate
Taylor,
for now?
you need to just calm down.
You don't have me.
Hey,
Taylor,
stop.
stop. Just
We're not doing this.
Okay, but he threw me out in the garage.
No, because she is attacking the crap out of
You
you.
threw me in the garage.
Okay, stop.
lying.
Okay.
You can just
Okay,
go
no.
that way.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay. Over
Okay.
here. I don't need people
Okay, you're
throwing
good.
hands at people.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you
Please don't let
separately.
me take any of my stuff. Please watch him.
Okay. Okay.
Please just watch him so he doesn't
you have-
take any of my stuff.
Do you have my other officer is going to stay with him, okay?
Where's my phone then?
Do you have a jacket or anything?
Yeah?
I want to talk to you with
Can I
that
get
one.
my phone, please?
Yeah.
Where's my phone? Hey, can I grab my phone from him? Can I grab my phone?
I don't have your phone, Taylor.
Then where is it?
You threw it at me.
Well, you lied
It's
your
right there.
Let's try calling the
Taylor.
phone before we get super freaked out, Mom.
I'll take you. Where do you want to go?
I just want to talk to you like out of earshot. We're just getting some water. Don't talk to each other.
I have family in Nampa.
Oh, yeah.
I'm from Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm right over.
I just saw the title plate.
Yeah.
208.
I just need to figure out what happened, but we need to go back out there.
I haven't been there since 45 years after high school.
I need to finish talking to you and figure out what happened tonight. Goes. I mean, she's starting to talk, but it's hard to get out what happened tonight.
Yeah.
So what she's telling me is she went out for a girls' night. So did that happen?
Yeah, she did.
Yes, okay. And then she said that you came to pick her up from girls' night. And then, but couldn't really elaborate. So she said you were bitching her out in the car.
Yeah.
So just elaborate on that. What happened?
For this reason right here, she's not doing okay in life. She's struggling right now. She's going through a lot. Alcohol is something that we can't. So it's something that we've communicated as a couple to try to stay away from those things, right? And for her health right now, especially due to just she is struggling. Adding alcohol to that, just like tonight, for a prime example, just explodes.
Is this all from tonight?
Yeah, dude. I mean, bro, I can't even tell you the stuff that just happened.
Is any of this property yours?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think my finger's broken, dude. My I don't know. Is there a bump there? Oh, because that hurts so bad. She hit me with the freaking metal chair. Yeah, it was in shock now. I can feel all the pain everywhere. But
so you don't live here?
No.
And these kids are hers?
Yes.
Okay. So you're coming home. You're upset because she's intoxicated.
Well, I'm not.
She mentioned something. She mentioned something about. It's okay to be upset.
Yeah.
She mentioned something about you had a concert or something.
Yeah. So she was having girls' night. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to a concert with my friends. And she was like, oh no, come pick me up. I want to come with you. So that's why I went and picked her up, and that was our plan. We were going to come back here because she didn't have her ID on her. She was going to grab her ID here, and we were going to go to the concert. But once I picked her up, I was like, no.
You're in no condition.
Yeah, absolutely not. That was pissing her off. The things she was saying to me was where I was getting more upset. It wasn't necessarily that part.
What was she saying?
Oh, just awful things to me, I mean, just as far as just tearing me down, I guess, just saying mean things about me. So that sucks. But I also just went silent for a good 30, 40 minutes too, while she was just screaming and crying and and then I mean, it wasn't really anything crazy, to be honest with you, until we got here. Once I pulled in here, I'm trying to think when it started. She started hitting me. Oh, because I tried to leave. I was like, I'm gonna leave. Oh no, she came in here first. Yeah, she came in here and threw her phone at me, and I was like, and this was in front of two of her family members, and she's screaming at me
You're outside, I'm inside. This is my house. Get out.
Taylor, okay.
No, Taylor, okay.
Hey,
get
Taylor,
out of my house.
So I don't know. I don't feel like this just completely flips things in her favor by any means. I'm sure it will to some people, but you definitely have to look at the whole picture. And there's for sure some questions here. But I mean, at the end of the day, I definitely am glad that this is going a legal route, because they need to never be around each other again. And it's unfortunate that there's a child that is between the two of them that is involved in this very messy and disturbing situation. You guys are going to have to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, tea and drama, and all of the legal situation involving Taylor and Dakota. I'm going to continue to cover it over here, so subscribe. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.